Hey guys, so here's a little video for you to talk about character foils, since that'll be day 12, I think, for your iLearn packet. And I'm going to try to write less during this video because I realized it was making a clicky sound, and that's obnoxious. So I'll do my best to just point and move the screen, and if I have to write, I'll make it minimal. So character foils. We talked about this briefly in the Downsiders. There are two characters that are different, but also the same. And what I mean by that is there are two characters that reflect each other, kind of like tinfoil reflects light. So they're the same in that they have something similar about them, whether it's a personality trait or maybe they have the same job, maybe they have the same role in the story, but they're different. You may also see these characters referred to as literary mirrors. And literary mirrors are characters with similar forms or functions, but who oppose each other in some significant way. So these literary mirrors, they are alike, and yet they're also opposites. And I'm going to look at some examples from pop culture that will hopefully help you understand it. Okay, so example number one. Let me see if I can get this right. There we go. Hunger Games. Man, you guys know I love the Hunger Games. Katniss and Peeta. So if you've not seen the movies or you've not read the books, this won't make as much sense, but hopefully everyone has at least some base knowledge about it, and we'll look at another one from Disney here in a moment. In the Hunger Games, this is your main love interest, right? And they're both tributes in the Hunger Games. They both have been chosen at random. They're both from the same district. They're both just teenagers that are kind of roped into this thing. Katniss, however, our protagonist, is cold. She thinks rationally. She's untrusting. She often can't see goodness in front of her because she's looking at all the angles. Whereas Peeta, who again, they're very much alike, they have the same goals, is sweet. He's gentle. He really goes on what he's feeling rather than logic. And because of that, they reflect each other nicely. So because of how sweet Peeta is and how gentle he is, you can see how cold and calculating Katniss can be, and vice versa. At the same time, they're very similar. They both are from the Seam, from District 12, the coal mining district. They both care about each other. They both care about people at home, and they both want the same thing. At first, Katniss wants to get home because she wants to get home to Prim. And at first, Peeta wants Katniss to get home, and he's willing to die for it. And then later on, you learn that they want the other one to get home. So she wants Peeta to get home, and he wants her to get home. So they're similar, but their differences really come in their personalities and how they come across on the page or on the screen. Another example is from The Lion King, which I have not... Oh, come on. There we go. I have not seen the new version of The Lion King. I have seen the original version. I've heard they're very much alike, but you have Scar and Simba, right? And for obvious reasons, they're different. But let's look at their similarities first. So they are both male lions. They both either want to be or have to be the leaders of their pride. They're related, and they basically both either want or need to be in charge. And in this case, they have similar form, right? Their form is that of a lion, a male lion who is trying to be in charge of a pride of lions. Their difference is Scar is selfish, he's vain, he's evil. I mean, Simba's the opposite of all those things, right? He's self-sacrificing, he's willing to give up his own life for others. He cares about his friends more than himself and his family more than himself. He's loyal and he's righteous. Everything he does has a positive motivator behind it, whereas with Scar it's the opposite. It's all selfish, right? It's all self-motivated. But they're still foil characters. Scar reflects Simba's good traits, Simba reflects Scar's bad traits, and that's not to say they have those traits, but that the fact that they are opposites kind of play up the other characters, kind of plays up their importance just by seeing the opposite on the screen. And then finally, we're going to look at one from Romeo and Juliet. So, Benvolio and Tybalt. Man, Tybalt. So, Benvolio. In the opening scene of Romeo and Juliet, Benvolio has run in with Tybalt when Benvolio tries to stop the fighting of a group of servants. Tybalt jumps in trying to fight, and as a result, Benvolio is seen as a peacemaker, so we all remember that scene. It's when Samson and Gregory are talking. I bite my thumb at you, sir. Do you bite your thumb at me, sir? No, I just bite my thumb. You know, that awesome scene. And Tybalt shows up, and he's like, what? You guys are here? Montagues? I will kill all of you with my sword. And Benvolio, rather than fighting, says, hey, let's stop. So he's passive, he's even-keeled, he's a friend of the Montagues, but he's also a friend of some of the Capulets. Then you have Tybalt. Oh, Tybalt. In the opening scene, the audience is introduced to Tybalt, the Prince of Cats. And I don't think we ever looked at that footnote, but if you're interested in it, let me know, and I'd be sure to pull that up for you and put it on Classroom. His first words in the play are, what art thou drawn among these heartless hinds? Talk of peace. I hate the word as I hate hell, all Montagues and thee. So he's saying, like, you want peace? I hate that more than I hate everything. I hate peace, which is very clearly in opposition to Benvolio. So whereas Benvolio is passive, Tybalt wants to fight. Where Benvolio is very even-keeled or even-tempered, Tybalt is a very quick temper. Where Benvolio is a friend of the Montagues, Tybalt is a part of the Capulet family. And then, of course, you have the Montague and the Capulet difference. They're foil characters because they're obviously very different, but they also often play off of each other in the play, in that you can see how they react and you can very clearly see the difference between them. But you can make a list, like here, of traits that are opposites but that line up evenly. Passive in fights, even-keeled, quick-tempered, friend family, Montague, Capulet. So for your assignment for today, for the 12th, for day 12, whatever that is, I think that's going to be on Thursday? Nope. Yep. What is today? Today is Wednesday, so Thursday. For your assignment for Thursday, it doesn't matter. I've got my days confused. For the 12th I Learn Day, you are going to look at the list of characters that I've given you, and you're going to put some traits down that would make them foil characters. So it can be like here with Benvolio and Tybalt, where they're exact opposites, passive in fights, friend, family, Montague, Capulet. It can also be a little bit more like Katniss and Peeta, where you can just list traits that are just like sweet, gentle, and he has feelings, whereas Katniss is cold, rational, and untrusting. The characters I've given you are foil characters, so you don't have to explain how they're similar. I'm really looking for these different traits. I can't remember. Maybe I did ask you to list how they're similar. Just follow the directions. But as long as you have at least a couple of bullets for each one, showing those traits and showing that you understand them, then you're good. The only character that might be a little bit hard with, I think, if I remember correctly, I put Juliet and Rosalind on there, and we don't really meet Rosalind much, so just give me whatever you can for that one. If you have questions, text me, email me. I'm going to start setting up Google Meet sessions as soon as you guys want. I'll try to hold some office hours tomorrow. Miss Mullins helped me figure out how to do that today. And if there's nothing else, I will leave you with this. I will leave you with this lovely image to leave, because we all love the Hunger Games, and by we all I mean me.